And then I was there in Thailand for the month. 4-star hotels, rooftop pools, eating out 3 times a day, massages like 3 times a week.
So how much would you say?
The whole trip.
The whole trip?
The whole trip, including the flights.
Not including the flights, just
not
when
including the
when
flights.
you landed.
Bro, from when I landed, I spent maybe...
Back again. This is YouGet Podcast, episode 129. You're here with Melly, and I've got a very special guest here today.
I'm Nelson, Entrepreneur Nelson on Instagram, Nelson Adeoti 101 on Instagram, 9 Bills on Instagram. So many pages, so many things. I am an entrepreneur, a marketer, and a copywriter.
You've just rattled off a long list of a lot of things that you do. And one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get you, I've been trying to get you on the podcast for 129 episodes, but one of the big reasons why I wanted to get you on was because you've done a lot of work with regards to Nelson, the Adeoti 101 stuff, the content there. You've gone out and put content out like, this is how much I spent in London in a month. So like, where did that come from?
I think, to be honest, that video, I didn't expect it to do that well.
Okay.
So with my content, and this is, I don't know if it's a gift or a curse, but I always try and document things that are actually really happening.
Okay.
So I don't make content, I record life. So at that time, I just come back from Thailand and I didn't plan my holidays well. So with one group of friends, so with myself, I did Thailand. Then with one group of friends, we booked to go to Portugal. And then with my girlfriend at the time, we booked to go to Cyprus, and they were all within like 3 weeks of each other. So I come back from Thailand, I had like 1 week in London, then 4 days in Portugal, then 2 days in London, then 3 nights in Cyprus. So like all of that was in the same month. And then I was on TikTok, and yeah, as you know, TikTok's got me in a hole. Like, if you know, then you know. They have all the trends that are happening, and it was a trend. It was like how much I spent in a month. So I was like, oh, I actually spent quite a lot this month. Let me go through it in all these places. I've never been to Portugal, never been to Thailand. I've been to Cyprus before, but it was meant to be like a new experience. Okay. We broke up. I ended up going with my sister. But they're all places that I haven't been before. So naturally, I was capturing a lot of content, like on my stories, on just my camera. So I was like, I might have enough content to like make a video from this. And I was like looking at someone else's one. There's a trending song that come out, one of the Drake song on his album. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'll use the trending song. I put the videos that I've got. I didn't film anything for TikTok.
Okay,
at all. It was just
all in your camera roll.
Yeah, from my camera roll completely. Filmed it and put it out, and it got like 800,000 views on TikTok.
Was there backlash with regards to showing how much you spent? And
not really, you know. I think that first one, because I ended up doing 3 of them. So I did like May, June, July, maybe something like that. But the first one was actually quite positive. Obviously, once you get to, with my other businesses, like for 9 Bills, for example, once you get to a certain number of views, you start getting like weird comments, because there's like people who are completely far removed from your circle. So they don't know you. They're on burner accounts, and they'll just like call you ugly or something. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So surprisingly, it got there, and like the first comment that comment, it was like Minister of Enjoyment, and there's like loads of people liking that. And I was like, it's sick. You know, it's good feedback, and it's actually done well, because where I've gone into like other spaces, I've like people have recognized me. Oh yeah, I've seen your TikTok, and you know that's like worked well for me in terms of like starting other conversations around business and around branding.
You're one of the first people I've known to do a whole month in Thailand. Yeah. What was the thought behind it, and can you kind of break down like? Did you come back a different Nelson?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Kind of.
What was the thought that I need to go away for a month?
No, so the thought process, it was like a amalgamation of things, like lots of things building up over time. Booked it, asked my girl at the time, do you want to come? She was like, nah. Yeah. Asked my friends, nah. I was like, all right, cool. I spoke to my cousin, and he was like, yeah, that's such a good idea. Like, I'd love to go to Thailand one day. I was like, why are you saying one day? Bro, book your ticket, bro. What are you talking about? I was like, enough to come for a month. Come for as long as you want. And literally booked it. Come like 24 hours. 24 hours his flight was. Yeah. Stopping in Tokyo, stopping somewhere else. Came
he got the cheapest flight.
Fam, no, there's no flights like that from America. He's from America,
okay.
From America to come to Thailand. I remember at the end of the trip when he left, I cried so much, because I didn't think anyone could do that for me. Do you know what I mean? So he come. And then I was there in Thailand for the month. 4-star hotels, rooftop pools, eating out 3 times a day, massages like 3 times a week.
So how much would you say for that month in Thailand? So we kicked off the episode talking about how you started off that content with like how much I spent in London. Thailand, you got to tell me.
The whole trip.
The whole trip,
including the flights.
Not including the flights. Just
not
when
including the flights.
When you landed,
bro. From when I landed, I spent maybe 1,500
for a month.
For a month, like I said, I did activities. You know, went on these boat trips and went kayaking and went
accommodation included.
But yeah, 4-star hotels, bro. They were like £27 a night. It was like ridiculous.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, like 27.
So why did you come back?
You can only stay for 1 month without a visa.
They're like dragging you, like, no, please.
You can only stay. I literally done it like 20, like I think it was 29 nights, like whatever the maximum is that you can do without getting a visa, or like applying to like work there. That's what I done. So 29 nights. I think maybe 1,500-1,600 altogether. My flight was like 550. No. So it was like 1,800.
Yeah.
So my flight was like 550, and altogether I spent like 2,400, 2,300.
Wow.
So I'll definitely recommend it.
So the Nelson that came back from 29 nights in Thailand. That sounds like a film. 29 nights in Thailand.
It's a Drake song.
Exactly. 5 a.m. in...
Do you know what I mean? In Thailand, in Bangkok.
Exactly. What version of you came back?
So yeah, lots of things happened in Thailand. Not mad things, but like...
Yeah. Man, like you had like flashbacks. Like,
cut that out. No, joking.
PTSD alert. Yeah.
No, coming back, I feel like it was not an epiphany moment, but it was a thing where it's like, this is actually real. Like, life is what you make of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, you can say to someone, I'm going to go and live in Thailand for a month, and people are like, that's crazy, you could never do that.
Yeah.
Like, but I did it. You know, I said to my boy as well, and like, much respect to my boy, and I said to him when I was doing the work from home thing, I was like, bro, you can work from home. He's like, no, you can't. I was like, when the pandemic came, everyone worked from home.
Yeah.
Did you die? Did the company falter? Did you get your bonus? Everything still happened.
Yeah.
But it's in your mind, you decided that it can't happen.
Yeah, the frame, it's like the structures, the societal structures that you build in your mind that you can't even imagine a world where it's any different.
Yeah, literally, and everyone is like conditioned to that. Like, it's I can't remember what it's a type of bias. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe like familiarity bias, but it's like, because you've never seen it, you don't think it's possible. Do you know what I mean? So like, my thing, and I feel like it's a strength that I've got, is that I don't need to see it to believe it. And maybe it comes from Christianity and having faith in God, and you don't see God, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you believe it happens.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, you can believe Wi-Fi, you don't see Wi-Fi.
True.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, I don't have to see it to believe that it can happen. So if I say I'm going to be a millionaire, I don't need to see exactly how, but I can start from where I'm at and say, okay, cool. If I continue on this task, I trust that I'm going to meet the right people. I'm going to make the right decisions. That's going to get me to where I want to get to. So yeah, coming back from Thailand, it was like, this can actually happen. So I've been looking at other places where I can live, but then also that raises other questions. And like I said, we had already booked to go to Cyprus for, it was my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, so that's what changed. You came back, you're like, I don't need to be with you.
No, but what it was is it was like, where do I want my life to go? Right. Where do you want your life to go? And it doesn't align. So it's not, I don't hate you, you know, it's not like,
but we're not aligned in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not aligned. So like, even with that, I left my job.
So that's actually a great segue, because, and that's why I was asking that, what Nelson came back, because I remember you came back 29 nights in Thailand. Like, energy was different, and I think one of the first things that I remember you done was you resigned.
Yeah,
you completely resigned, and you bet on yourself with all the businesses you're doing. Did that happen in Thailand when you said, I know I want to bet on myself? Or what was that trigger? What was that point where you're like, I'm going full on entrepreneur?
So my boy Victor, shout out Victor, I don't know if he'll watch this, but I'll send it to him anyway.
He's definitely watching.
He's watching it.
Yeah.
But my boy Victor, I met him through Airbnb. So I have my place and I have an Airbnb. So he stayed in the Airbnb. Like, found that we like have loads of mutual friends, but we never met each other.
Right.
So we was chatting. He's into property, you know, and I'm like enthusiastic about property as well. So we've like kept in touch. I was like, yeah, you know, we've gone for lunch, all these kind of things. It's like, let's, you know, stay cool. So he messaged me and he said that he's found a landlord who's got a property that they want to rent out. And so do you reckon we could put it on Airbnb?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, well, like, where's the property? It was like central London. Can we put a property in central London on Airbnb?
Yeah.
Of course. So I was like, but I'm going to Thailand.
Yeah.
And it was like, but have you got money? I was like, yeah, I've got money. Like, I can give you the money to, sort anything that you need. And he's like, all right, yeah, let's do it then. And he's a very like go-getter person.
Yeah.
I'm a bit, I'm calculating how much is like beef going to cost. I work it backwards. Do you know what I mean? He's like, no, it works. So I was like, all right, send me some numbers and I'll have a look as well. So he sent me like, this is how much he reckons he can do it for per night. And I'm like doing a stress test. It's like, what if we do it like 20% less? What if we don't get the occupancy? Can we still make it? And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, even if I lose the money, it says that, the numbers say it should make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in Thailand, time difference like 6 hours. So when it's evening in London, it's like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. So like I only have the morning time to work, London time.
Yeah.
So I'm on emails, I'm on WhatsApp, we're furnishing the place. I'm sending my mum to drop the TV.
Yeah.
He's speaking with interior designers to like get furniture and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the whole month I was there, we had 2 properties, income generating from day one whilst I was in Thailand. So like I'm working like 3-4 hours in the morning.
Yeah.
And then going out about my day for the rest of the day in Thailand, going on boat trips and scuba diving. Not scuba diving, is it?
Snorkeling. Yeah.
Snorkeling, swimming.
Getting paid by the hour, just like.
Getting paid, bro. I was just getting notification, boom, money paid. And I'm doing nothing. Phone the cleaner, yo, go to the property. They go clean, send me pictures.
Wow.
Next person checks in. Like, it was... I'm like, so what am I working my life for, bro? What am I doing?
So you've come back, you're like, you've seen a glitch in the matrix, you've seen the avenue.
It's like you can, and it doesn't have to be property.
That's when you're like, I'm resigning.
No. So that's not, I had already decided that I'm going to take a break, because where I was working, I left my job in 2020, March 2020, I left my job. I made that decision already.
Okay.
But then lockdown happened. So lockdown happened and I was like, I've got savings. I don't really need to
hold on,
go anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, there's nowhere to go. All my holiday money that I'd saved was still there. So that's when I started my YouTube channel. So I was just doing content, was learning French, was going on runs. Like I was just like doing things.
Sounds like a midlife crisis.
No, I wouldn't call it a crisis at all. Like it was just like making the most of the situation. What else could I have done?
True.
Like go and get another job and just sit in front of a desk for the whole day.
That's a good point.
But then when it got to the end of 2020 and things were kind of opening up, but not really opening up. So they had like green lists. You have to get vaccinated and all those kind of things. So with things being still closed, there wasn't really like an opportunity to do stuff with 9 bills in a way that made sense to me.
Yeah.
So I got another job. So, but bearing in mind, my mindset at the time was I needed to make money from my businesses, but circumstances meant I needed a new job. But then the job that they offered me was like 60% salary increase on what I was on before I left.
Okay.
So I was like, it's a bit stupid for me to not take that. And they renewed and gave me a pay rise again. So I ended up staying in that role for 18 months.
Okay.
So like this idea of resigning is now, as of today, nearly 2 years late.
So it's been pushed back, yeah.
Exactly. So the decision to leave had already been made. And then when, like I said, I booked my thing. I said, in April, I'm going for a month. I said, it's not an annual leave thing. I'm going for a month. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, like, COVID was ending, all these kind of things. And I was working at the COVID response, like one of these organizations. And they said, like, it looks like it's ending anyway. So like, you might as well just think it. And when I come back, they're like, they want to extend. I was like, no. I've left. I've gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's over.
And that was kind of like the end of it. And I guess even pivoting from there, when you spoke about the properties and you were starting to get into the renting schemes, you were like one of the first people 3-4 years ago that you jumped on the property ladder. I believe, was it through like different avenues?
Yeah, help to buy. Yeah.
And I guess like you were one of the first success stories I saw about using those schemes. I want to ask, like 3-4 years removed from those schemes, are you do you look back and think that was fraudulent, or do you feel like no, actually that actually did put me on the property market?
Legit. It was legit.
Okay, like, because I know some people are like actually set it back, and like with the economy and with new builds and blah blah blah.
No, it's very very simple. And like I said, I'm kind of an analytical person.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I put the money down, it was like 15k deposit, right?
Yeah.
And
the government matches. The government gives you 20% on top of that.
The government gives you 40% equity. Yeah. So,
okay.
So I'll explain it. So imagine there's like a pie, right? So the whole property is 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In London, 40% the government will like remove from the price. Okay. Yeah. So forget about that. The government will just look after it. You put down 5% of the 100, and then you get a mortgage on the rest. So it's like 55% is your mortgage. Now to the bank, if you're getting 55% of the whole property, your interest rate is going to be low.
Yeah.
So your monthly payments are low.
Yeah.
The catch is for the government is over time, properties usually increase in value.
Right.
So when it comes to selling your property, you pay them back 40% of the new value. So they make money.
Right.
Because they've just held that 40%. They have a stake in your property. The government the bank will take their loan, and you keep get a deposit plus whatever equity increases their capital gain. Now, for me, the way I looked at it is, if I was to rent somewhere similar, 15k would be 1 year's rent.
Right.
So the 15k, it goes in there. Obviously, you pay interest, which is like dead money. The same. Yeah. It's not the same as rent, but like when people say rent is dead money, there's still dead money when you're paying a mortgage. When you buy a house, like solicitors fees, stamp duty, all that stuff, you don't get back.
Yeah.
But your deposit, 15k, you get back. So if I own this house, I think it was like for 18 months, it would be profitable. I would be in a better position financially than if I had rented somewhere with a similar, like quality.
Of course.
Now the other side of it is, everyone sees the government's money making scheme. Like they see their business plan, right?
Yeah.
We hold 40%. In 5 years, in 10 years, when you sell, we take back 40%, and we've made money now.
Is there a window that you can't sell until 5 years?
No, you can sell whenever, but the exit fees are on your mortgage, innit? Like when you get a mortgage, if you get like a 5-year fix and you want to sell in 2 years, you pay a fee.
Yeah.
Often like a heavy fee. But everyone can see the government's money making plan. So the developers, and the help to buy scheme is only for new builds. So the developers will put the price a bit higher than what it's actually worth.
Right. To protect it.
Not to protect it, but just because they can. They know that you're not paying, you're only putting down 5%. Do you know what I mean? You're only getting a mortgage for 55%. The 40%, like a large stake of it, is with the government.
So if the government's going to pay for,
Exactly. So they're putting up prices like two bed flats, which are meant to be 200. They're putting for 300.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, I can still afford it because I'm only putting down 5% and I'm only getting 55%. That versus my salary, I can still afford it. Yeah. So everyone's happy. Now the problem comes is if in 5 years your property, the rest of properties, a 2-bed flat, is now it's not 300k. It's still not 300. So you're in negative equity.
Yeah.
But even then, the government still has a stake. So if I decide, you know what, let's kamikaze it and I'm going to sell it, I'm going to take the hit. The government's taking 40% of that hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not going to overpay my mortgage. I'm going to get like a cheap mortgage. 15k is what I put down. The monthly is going to be whatever it is. And we'll see how it goes in 5 years, isn't it? If
I go down, everyone's going down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm going to need somewhere to live, regardless. So worst case, I live there. Worst case, I have a 2-bed flat. I can rent the other room.
True.
Do you know what I mean? I'm still not worse off. So yeah, like looking back at it, I would still, and even at the time, I was telling people like, yo, this is how I done it. And you can do it as well. Like 15k is not an obscene amount of money. Like,
of course, yeah.
I saved over 2 years, and I could have done it 2 years earlier. But I bought a car.
Right.
I bought a car. That car was wavy. I loved it. I bought it for cash, no finance.
Yeah.
Had that car, but I could use it as deposit years before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now there's no help to buy scheme. There's no equity loan.
They've ended it. Yeah.
As of October 22, they've taken it off, and interest rates are much higher. So it's like, if you didn't do it at that time, I mean, you're not going to do it now. If you do it now, you'd like pinch yourself.
Yeah, it's a good point. From there, I guess it was a case of, so you resigned, got your property. Now let's go.
Property, then resign.
Got your property, then resign. Now fast forward, we're into like 2022. You've just come back from 20 nights in Thailand.
29.
How's it been betting on yourself? when it comes to I'm no longer going to be an employee. I am going full on the creative side. 9 bills, Adeoti entrepreneurs. Yeah. What was that? Is that kind of like a Clark Kent Superman moment, Bruce Wayne Batman moment? Like, who were you really? Were you always entrepreneurs, or was it like?
No, I've always had entrepreneurial spirit, and I think it comes from. And again, this is a personal thing, so like it's not advice for anyone. But like my dad always was in business, and he made money, and you know you have peaks and troughs. He made money, he didn't have money, bought property, sold property, whatever. But he never had a job to fall back on. He never had. I'm a copywriter. I'm a communications person. I'm a expert in said field. So when business wasn't going well, it was just tough on everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I want to do business eventually, but I never want to be in a position where if I don't have any money, I don't have anything to fall back on. So like I said, when it got to the end of 2020, I know I've been like 4 years in communications and marketing as an account manager, as a graphic designer, as a videographer, as a photographer. I'm like across all creative. So in any of those roles within comms and marketing, I can go in and command a good salary. So I was never worried about money. So I can, even now, if everything goes tits up, I'm not too proud to say I'll just go and get a job. Do you know what I mean? I'll get a good day rate, I'll get a good salary, I'll get a good pension, all these type of things. Worst case scenario, I can still do that. Yeah. I've got, worked for like 7 years after uni, 6 years after uni. I've always had like the entrepreneurial thing in me. It's like sometimes you'll have loads of deals coming through, but equally there'll be times there'll be nothing. And if you're not like level-headed and you don't have, and I come back to like Christianity and faith, is that if you're not able to believe something that you can't see, you'll struggle with running a business. Because a lot of the time, all you're seeing is these letters asking you to do something. I told you earlier, like my accountant's messaging me for this, bills are send me invoice, all this kind of stuff. You can get bogged down in that kind of admin and that stress.
You've been doing it now for a couple of months, going into 2023. What would you say going full time and betting on yourself has been, I guess, the biggest growing pain?
The biggest growing pain is your calendar.
Okay.
Here's my calendar.
Okay, speak on that.
So I'm currently running 3 businesses, and I've got some friends who are in similar positions. I won't say any names, but they're in similar positions, and I reach out to them and we chat, and then it's like, in an ideal world, I would still have a job and still run these 3 businesses.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the ideal world was just a business.
Like, because the job is kind of, for me, it's like it's a reward for your skills.
All the skills are built up, monetizing it.
So like when you run a business, it's a reward for your value, So like if you can generate X amount of views or X amount of engagement for a brand, they're going to pay you X amount. But that's not a direct reward of your skills. Whereas if you're working in a company and they've put you in a role to do something, that's my skill and I'm getting paid because of that, because you lot value me at this much.
What's your thoughts on, Nelson being here for the next 2-3 years? Are you already planning, another 29 nights in Thailand, or are we going to do 290 nights in Thailand? What's your thoughts on that? Because
that's something I'm working on now. So I've got a mentor through my church. He's a business mentor. He's a millionaire. He's married, got kids, good Christian, and that's a good place. Good mentor to have. And we recently done an exercise where it's like, give me one sentence, like almost like a mission statement of what your life would be like in 5 years. So I'm 29 now. So he's like, how would your life be in 35? I was like, yo, in 5 years I'll be 35.
This wasn't the plan.
Fam, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So, I wrote down on some post-it notes.
Yeah.
And, lots of around revenue goals, around turnover, around like staff numbers, these type of things. But then part of it is a family, like having a wife and kids.
I got everything I want in my life,
but a girlfriend. But so that's part of it. So when I'm planning my future, it's like, if I'm gonna live in Thailand, am I gonna have a wife from Thailand? No. I'm not.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have kids there? Like, they need to go to school.
Yeah.
Will they go to school there? So maybe over the next few years I'll still travel. But then if I find a partner, they need to be open to that as well.
Okay.
Do you get it? So in an ideal world, I would be like a not dual nationality, but dual residence across different places.
Right.
So wherever, you know, again, I'm going to shout out Bissy, who's my accountant. We're going to talk about that, about like how many days you need to be in a country to pay taxes there. And yeah, again, that's like, this is me speaking it to my future self, because I'm not rich enough to to have
rich
these
in
conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day we'll have those conversations, and like where you can dump money to get passports. So if you want to get a passport, that's EU. If you want to get a passport, that's American. You know, you marry an American person.
Yeah.
But different countries have different rules, and there's some that they give you like it's called a golden passport.
Okay.
Where if you invest a certain amount of money into their infrastructure, into land, into business, they give you a passport or residency there. So you can open a bank account. And again, some countries have different tax laws.
Of course.
So like if my business is officially a resident in Dominica, and their tax is 5%, I don't know if that's actually what their tax is, but compared to the UK at 19%, the corporation tax, then that's where my company will be.
Right.
Do you get?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I think you touched on a segment that I think goes unsaid. And it comes to like the romantic element of kind of betting on yourself. Have you found, from a perspective of just if you have dated or you have someone there, has it been tough for you in terms of trying to like find that partner that you can build with? People are apprehensive when you're like, look, I'm Nelson, I'm doing 9 bills, and it's
the opposite way.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the one that's apprehensive.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm the one that's apprehensive. I don't want to give myself labels, but I feel like I've got like some sort of commitment issues.
I got commitment issues.
I'm trying to change that. But when I say commitment issues, not like I'm like unfaithful.
Yeah, you're not a man whore, of course not.
Yeah. It's like I want to be with someone, but I'm a bit afraid of the infinite nature of it. It's just like, this is my wife forever.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, like what else is forever in your life?
Yeah.
Nothing's forever. So like, how can we do this forever? What if I don't like you in
But then
years?
like, you know, kids, like, are you afraid of kids because you have a child and they're your child forever? What is it about that, having that life partner that throws you off? Because I feel like people, when you tell someone like you're going to be friends forever, I feel like people don't feel fazed by that whole, oh shit, I've got to be committed to being their friend forever. What is that?
I think it's something I'm growing into. It's something I'm growing into. Like, I recently got a tattoo, which is like part of it.
Are you really sure this is not midlife crisis?
Bro.
Where's the tattoo? Tramp stamp or over the chest, like live life forever, Tupac forever?
Yeah, man. It says Thug Life. I got a tattoo, and the tattoos are forever. Do you know what I mean? They're like until you die. And it was like, not a tribute, but it was like, I don't know what the right word is for it, but essentially it was like for my friend who's alive. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of time people do tattoos for people who died. So my friend who's alive, who's always been a constant in my life, like,
right?
Whether we've fallen out or not, we've always been in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll put that on there because I reckon we'll always be in each other's lives in some way or another.
Oh, okay.
Do you get? So I'm dealing with that kind of infinity complex, I guess, of that. But then the other thing about being apprehensive is that I meet people and I'm like,
what, they're not passing the vibe check?
I don't know. And like, I think the thing is, I think everyone passes the vibe check because I'm the vibe.
Nah, not
I'm
for
the
me.
vibe.
Oh, you're the vibe.
I'm the vibe. Yeah, like I get on with everyone.
Okay.
I get on with everyone.
Okay. So you're one of those.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not like if you get on with me, you haven't done anything special because, do you know what I mean, I'll strike up a conversation.
You hear that, everyone? Like if you thought Nelson liked you, nah, you just another one.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get on with everyone. So it's like getting on with you is one thing, but I feel like where I'm at now is I need time to like know you.
Okay.
So like,
you know, time is not of the essence when you're 29, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I went out the other day. I was saying to my friend earlier, I went out the other day and it was like a guy who was maybe like in his mid 40s. What seemed like he was next to me seemed like he was on like a first date or like a, you know, first few dates.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that, bro.
I don't want to be.
He was like, oh, you look so young, and you know, it was like throwing in these little compliments here and there. You could see he was trying. He was like, yeah, I want my business to do £1 million in revenue next year, and I'm like, bro,
he was flexing.
Yeah, he was trying to, you know, put his best foot forward. That's what you should do, innit? But
yeah, true.
It's like I would rather be with someone, and I'm not opening the door to any of my friends right now if you're seeing this.
Yeah,
but I'd want to be someone who knows me. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
We know each other, and then we make that decision. Like, do you know what?
But are you letting people get to know you, or are you very standoffish? That's why you're in that complex.
No, I'm not standoffish. I'm not standoffish. I'm open to it. Do you know what I mean? I'm open to it.
Okay.
Especially this year, because like I said, I broke up with my girlfriend last year.
Yeah.
So I didn't date anyone.
Yeah.
Till this year, essentially.
I guess it's because taking it back to the calendar part where you've got...
the calendar's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
So how do you make that...
That's what I'm saying. So this is something I've always said as well, yeah, and you might make a clip of this, yeah?
Yeah.
But when you want to do something, you'll make a way. And if you don't, you'll make an excuse.
Right.
And that's the mantra that I always take. So I'll never make an excuse to not do something. If I don't want to do something, I'll tell you I don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? If you invite me to your birthday, I don't want to go. I'll say, bro, I can't make it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to give you an excuse. I'm just not going to go.
Yeah.
Whereas the opposite's also true. If I want to do something, even if my calendar's busy, I can make things happen. I'll phone people. I'm like, yo, I want to do X, Y, and Z this evening. Can we reschedule to X, Y, and Z? And with my network, with my friends, like even you today, I was like, oh, can we do this at 11? If I had other things to do at 12, I would move them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To make this happen.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, come on, man. but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's nothing that's like, not nothing, but there's so much things that are flexible. So even if your calendar's completely booked, if someone said, oh, do you know what? I'm going to give you £1 million if you come with me to Disneyland today. You're going to do it. You're going to be there.
Right.
It's just how much do you value what you've got?
Yeah,
so
true.
if I want to make time for someone, I can.
Okay, cool. And I guess my last question is like, I guess I'm not going to do the whole, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But like, what would class as a successful 2023 for you? Fast forward, we're in December 31st.
Do you know what? This is something I saw on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram has got, like, social media has got me in a chokehold. I'm gonna
have to get you in a social media like abstinence,
bro. I've downloaded an app called OneSec.
Yeah,
it's like an app that links to the automation, the shortcuts on your phone.
Yeah.
So essentially, when you click on it, it does a countdown and it says, "Take a deep breath." Do you still want to open Instagram? So I saw this thing on Instagram and it says, "Treat your life as if there's someone holding a camera watching you."
Like it was a documentary.
Like it was a documentary about your life. What would you do? Bro, I find myself going on runs. I'm doing press ups. I'm doing business plans. I'm doing business plans. I'm like, you know, it's like, and even the other day I went for a run. I have a place where I stay now in King's Cross. I went for a run and I was like, raw, like, if I looked at myself 10 years ago and said like, you'd be going for morning runs in King's Cross and coming to have meetings in Snapchat offices. Do you know what I mean? I'll be buzzing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, essentially, like, just this whole year is do what needs to be done, right? So
okay,
if you want to do like a brand deal with someone, it requires work. It requires doing a deck. It requires going on meetings. It requires doing these things that maybe you might not want to do. Sometimes you're not in the mood to chat to no one. But if you don't do it, it doesn't change the fact that it needs to be done.
That's very true.
Do you get? Point, so fast forward to December 2023, I want to look back at the year and said that at each point I did what needed to be done, and these will be the results.
Okay,
that's what it is.
Poetic. I think that brings our episode to an end. Nels, I want to thank you so much for coming through.
It's been sick. I'm so happy I've done this actually.
So overdue. I guess, can you leave some, how can people support your journey or what you're putting out or what people got to look forward to for your content going forward for 2023?
Yeah, put a link in my YouTube channel here. My next video is talking about what we spoke about on property and like, if you're a first time buyer in 2023, what are your options type of thing.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram, Nels Adeoti 101. 9 Bills is just at 9 Bills, which is music and culture, meaningful music matters.
Okay.
I've got a mailing list as well, which just talks on like personal finance and like what's happening in the world and how that affects really millennials and Gen Z, like people who are stepping into adulthood now.
Right. Okay. Right?
So yeah, my like little motto on Instagram, on YouTube, is helping young adults become actual adults.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I'm on socials. Just follow on socials, and hopefully get some information, some education, some entertainment.
Awesome. All right, signing out, Melly.
Nelly.